Let's get it on till the early morning, girl. It's all good, just turn it on. Get it on till the early morning, girl. It's all good, just turn it on. Let's get it on till the early morning, girl. It's all good, just turn it on.
Hey guys, welcome back. This video is a day in the life of a Hartpury student livery, so I'm going to show you my morning routine, evening routine, riding, facilities and so on and so forth. So today I got up at 5:45 and went for a run. I didn't think you guys would want to see that, and then I showered. I left my room at 6:45 to go to Barney. Every morning I skip out. I don't take the wet out unless he hasn't had his emergency turnout, and he's quite a wet horse, so I only take it out if he's been in with no turnout. So I then skip out, refill water and do his hay net. Hay barn is open from 7:15 to 7:45 in the morning. All mucking out must be finished by 8, and all sweeping must be finished by 8:15, and all horses must be tied up whilst being mucked out to prevent them running out and so on, because there's no room to tie up on the yard. They're quite narrow, and with 22 horses tied up bum to bum, something will go wrong, of course. If I'm not riding in the morning, he goes on the walker for 30 minutes, but this morning I did ride, so he didn't. He went on the walk in the evening. Grooming, I always use a spray on his legs, mane and tail, which help with detangling, but also with the sand sticking to his legs, because it's quite a waxy surface, it prevents it from sticking, so I can brush it off easier after. He's got a Monarch jump saddle with a Lemure blackcurrant jump pad, as well as Acavello stirrups and stirrup leathers. I love them, they are beautiful. He also has a Pessoa bridle with a loose ring sweet iron snaffle bit for schooling. It's not strong enough for jumping, but it is for schooling, and because he's tendency to lean on the bit, it helps him with that, to pick himself up. So this morning I had the whole of Hartpury Arena to myself, which was really, really nice. As it's half term, most college kids have gone home. Some uni have, some haven't. It's study week for uni, not half term, and it was very quiet. I didn't see anyone till I left at 8:45. We mainly worked on balancing contact, trot and canter. We did some more technical stuff such as flying changes, walk to canters, extended trot and leg yielding. I rode from between 7:30 to 8:45, so it was about an hour and 15 minutes. The clip is only short. I knew you wouldn't want to see an hour and 15 minutes of me riding. take the saddle off first, but I always take the stirrups off as well, because if I roll them up then they mark it, and it's a very soft leather saddle and I don't want to risk marking it with those big stirrups. And then obviously groom him and put his fleece on. He normally has his Lemur cooler, but I had to rush off to meet a friend, so I couldn't change it into from a cooler to a fleece. In the evening, I always take out the wet. Always, whether he's been out or not, it's when I take out the wet. As you can see, he's got quite a big bed. This is due to him frequently becoming cast, and he's prone to colic. And if he gets cast, he then gets stress colic. So big banks, big bed means less chance of getting cast, so less chance of colic, which means a happier, healthy horse. We get a bag of shavings every other day. You don't have to use them, but you do lose them if you don't. It also helps with having a large bed, so if I'm getting a bale every other day and I'm taking out about about half a bale every evening with wet and poo, then it maintains the bed quite well, and it helps with his banks and being able to dig them out and so on. He also went on a walker this evening for 30 minutes just to stretch his legs, as he hadn't been out after he'd been ridden this morning. As you can see, he's the smallest on the walker. I love that so much. Overnight, it's about 1 degree here. It's varying between 0 and 4 at the minute. So he's having his weather beater fleece with his 300 gram heavyweight weather beater rug over the top, and his Lemur leg wraps, which help with him getting cast, because if he thrashes about, he's going to slice his legs up, and they're really well padded, and it prevents him from doing that. I forgot to film a Hartpury rules section as you guys had requested it, so I just thought I'd jump on here really quickly and say so Hay Barn is open from 7:15 to 7:45 in the morning, 5 to 5:30 in the evening. You can collect shavings any time within those times, so long as it's on a shavings day. People who have cushion bed are allowed 5 bales a week, but they can only collect them Monday to Friday, whereas shavings, obviously if it's every other day, it could be on a Saturday or Sunday, so you can just collect it on the day. On the rules, on the yard, the rules are hair is supposed to be up at all times. You must not have earphones in your ears. You must have boots on at all times. If you are to ride, you must be in jodhpurs or riding leggings or just riding wear. Horses must be tied up when you're mucking them out. You must wear a hat and gloves when leading your horse, whether you are leading it to the walker, whether you're just taking it for a walk around the yard, taking it to the field, taking it to be ridden. You don't have to have gloves on when you're riding, but you do have to have them on when leading them there, and they do recommend you do wear them when riding. When riding the college horses, so in equitation, you must wear a body protector, hat and gloves when riding, but only the body protector when jumping. In the morning, horses have to be mucked out, hayed and fed by 8 a.m. You can be on the yard from 6:30, so you can ride between 6:30 onwards, but you must have mucked out by 8 p.m. You cannot come on the yard earlier than 6:30 unless you have a reason. If you ask them and give them 24 hours notice and say you've got a show and whatnot, they will allow you to come on earlier. You can only lunge in schools between 6:30 a.m. and 7:30 a.m. and then after 6:30 between p.m. to 8 p.m. in the evenings. You can lunge at any time in the lunging pen, but to actually lunge in an arena, it must be within those times. You must be off the yard by 8:30 in the evenings, but you have to have finished riding by 8 p.m. If you're late, morning or evening, and your horse isn't hayed, or if you've got a late lecture and you haven't had somebody to do your horse, or if you oversleep, you get a cause of concern form, which basically means you get warned, and however many you have depends on if they will allow you back next year as a livery. Those are the main rules, as well as you must watch your horse when it's on the walker. If you ask somebody to watch it, you have to then make sure that if they were to take their horse off or they had to go, that you then had to go and watch them or take your horse off. But those are the main Hartpury rules. Obviously, over this voiceover there was Barney on the treadmill, which he did as part of a dissertation. If you guys would like to know more about that, I'm happy to tell you. He's got sensors on his back, that's what the black things are, it's nothing strange. I also filmed me making his feed, but because the feed room is in a big metal container, it made a lot of noise and you couldn't really hear what I was saying. So I'll quickly go over what he has. He has half a scoop of fibre beet, half a scoop of pony nuts, and 3/4 of a scoop of meadowsweet, and that's only because he has to have glucosamine for his joints, and he doesn't like the taste of it, and because he's quite a fussy horse, meadowsweet has honey and turmeric and spearmint in, which allows it to, well, it tastes nicer, so it's better for fussy horses, and it's quite good as if he has a spout of colic, because it's quite dry, and it tastes nice, it helps get his colic medication in. The next video that I upload will be saying goodbye to Hartpury, obviously as the coronavirus outbreak has put a very abrupt end to schools and university years, which is quite sad, but that is what I will do next. If you have any video suggestions, please feel free to comment below, like this video and subscribe. If you'd like to message me on Instagram with any suggestions or requests or questions, I am happy to answer them. Just let me know what you want to do next. Thank you so much for watching, I really hope you enjoyed it.